Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Big Board Battles. Today we have a game like no other game. Well, it's kind of like the other games, but you know what I mean. Undying Dynasties face off against the Empire of Sonnstahl in a 5,000 point grudge match that will lead to one team being the victor and one team being dust. So, put on your hard hats, sign your safety waivers, and get ready for some battling adventures. So we decided to play Seize Control, or the scenario where you have two control points on the map and you have to use your scoring units to have control of those at the end of the game. And as you can see, there are two. One's over by his side with his corner castle area, and one is right in front of none of my scoring units and my kitties and things like that. I deployed first. I dropped everything. I'm running a much more aggressive list, and I wanted the first turn to kind of get in a better position, kind of control the center. And it's not what I normally do, but again, I'm going away, or I'm trying to go away from the gun line approach to this army and going for something a lot more aggressive. And this is what I did. Well, let's go over my list first. I have my two units of snakes, Tomb Cataphracts, and they both have a banner. I dropped my Shabti from 8 to 6, and they still have paired weapons. I'm bringing double kitties. I dropped the catapults completely. I've, again, two chariot units. I'm trying to use them better. I have my two archer groups, one with a architect, and the other, who is granting regen to the Shabti at this moment, and the other has my Hierophant in it with the single spell of evocation. And this time I rolled the number 5 in evocation, which gives me the ability to hex the enemy for -1 leadership and -2 weapon skill. So that's a tool in my pocket that I can use. I brought my Soul Colossus in the middle there, as you can see, and I have two groups of vultures just sitting there. If those of you who watched the Empire versus Dwarf match I recorded a few episodes back, will remember this army. It has a group of halberdiers over in the corner, just looking at that control point right ahead of them. Behind the house is a group of 20 swordsmen. Another group of great swordsmen are right by them, and it has a battle standard bearer in them, and also a prelate. I'm not sure. He has the arcane engine of distraction, and also a griffin, a commander riding a griffin, a lord, some sort of lord choice riding a griffin. He also has 5 units of knights over on the other side, some raiders, 2 groups of militiamen, just groups of 10, just running up. He has another 20 swordsmen, some crossbowmen, and you can't see it in this picture, but he's got, well, you can't see it very well, but he's got 2 cannons, one on each kind of side, one behind the great swordsman and one off. It's by the knights. You can't see it because I couldn't capture that corner very well, and it's kind of just turning the middle of the map into a big huge kill zone. So I'm kind of worried about that, but I'm trying out my list. I want to see how they perform. And already I'm missing the catapults just looking at the hordes of low toughness troops just there. So as I said, I deployed first and I got to go first. So I went first. I kept my kitties behind the hill. I put my Soul Colossus just right on the itty bitty bit of the hill so he could see and take a shot at the riders. The chariots kind of move over to the side so they can start churning up and going to threaten that cannon if I need to take it out. My snakes kind of just go forward, so do my Shabti. Vultures reposition so I can chaff up when I need to chaff up. And the kitties kind of move a little forward, but stay mostly behind the hill. And this is what it looks like at the end of the first turn. And I do get a very good magic phase, and I'm able to blast 4 of the 5 pistolier knight dudes off the table with the 2d6 ice hits from the Soul Colossus or whatever. Ice and Fire is the spell. And I also got off the casket on his knights, and he rolled out the box for those his leadership test, and they just, 4 of them just ate it. Now, he passed his panic checks both times, so there is that. And we see the bottom of turn 1, and I also used Touch the Heart to eat his last rider, so that unit's totally gone. So he moves forward too. He moves forward with his halberdiers to kind of dare my snakes to charge them and to kind of just get in position. He moves his Arcane Engine up to give distracting out to everyone, and it's just positioning at this point. His cannons, though, they could not miss and just hit him twice and blew him up. And there goes the Soul Colossus. It was okay because I was able to get off both my spells I needed on miscasts on 4 dice. So he had broke both of his bound spells. They were just gone. Yeah. So Soul Colossus is no more. And it was a sad day. Cannons are strong. My turn. Nothing much else happens. And I do some charges. I charge my snakes in and my chariots in, and I'm hoping the chariots will, I just needed to hopefully get into that greatsword group, while he was kind of out of position. And so I'm hoping to overrun in there and, get past the flank charges of the swordsmen. And I just kind of moved up otherwise to support. My kitties are totally out of position. I realize that, and so I do a swift reform with my musician and move them off a bit so my general's within 12 inches so they can both march, and they both do. They both turn and kind of march towards the center of the board to try to get where the action is. My chariots move up a little bit, and there we are. Nothing much more in terms of movement. One of my vulture groups switches positions so it can fill in as chaff when needed. There's a better picture of that charge there. He did blow up one of my chariots was shooting last turn. I forgot to realize that. I did, however, use my powerful trait spell to raise back up the chariots and give them 4 wounds back, so they're full health. But I did it through a miscast. I lose the spell, so I'm down to 2 spells, and I blow up a bunch of my skeletons. And yeah, as expected, I mow through those militiamen. I do take a wound for my troubles, but we just slam forward. And that's where we are. And on his turn, my chariots don't actually get in the swordsman. He charges me. It's just the timing of the pictures. Yeah, so that's not good. And the great swords, he also gets into the side with his general. And I didn't think he'd be able to do that, but he was, and it wasn't even close. I just miscalculated there. My vultures eat the swordsman charge. They're gonna die. And he kind of repositions with his halberdiers a little bit. That is his movement. He moves up his his pistoliers again to shoot at my kitties, maybe get in their way. The militiamen kind of start heading that way too. And this is where we sit at the bottom of 2. Better picture of that charge there. Better picture of that charge there. Oh, this went terribly. He just destroys my cataphracts. Between his BSB, the prelate, and the general, I don't think I do a single wound. They just yeah, blood splatter is pretty much all that's left if these things had blood. But dust, red colored dust splatter, I guess is what happens to them. It wasn't good, whatever it was. I don't think I did a single wound, and that hurt. This goes marginally better. I do kill a few, like 4 of them, and he does 2 wounds to me. He wins, or I think he only does 1 wound, but I crumble 1, and this is where we sit. So top of 3, that was, yeah, that losing that cataphract group really hurt. So I try to charge in with my Shopti because I know my Shopti are a lot better, but I fail the charge. And I'm charging the swordsman so I can get past the great swords into his distracting engine and just rush. But I fail. I needed a 7 and I got a 3. So they move forward a little bit, and my oh shit, I need to do something now, vultures comes out to block his counter charges as much as they're going to be able to. My kitties just move up to kind of threaten the center of the board there. And my chariots, and I don't know why I did this with my chariots on this side, but I move them over just on the hill to take some shots at his knight. And again, I don't know why I did that. Oh no, I did it to shoot at his pistoliers. That was my goal here. But again, it's probably not the best use of these things. His cannons, one misfired and won't be able to shoot the rest of the game. The other misfired and won't be able to shoot for 2 turns. So my kitties are relatively safe right now, and they're just running out and getting as much ground covered as they can before his other cannon comes back online. Yeah. So here is what happens in combat. I kill a couple more. He does a couple more wounds, and there we sit. His turn. He charges my chariots who are on the hill with his single knight, and I'm not sure how that's gonna go. His halberdiers charge at my horse archers, and I'm debating whether I want to charge in my snakes after them. I'm not sure if he's going to try to overrun or what he's going to try to do. He does charge my vultures with his great swords and his swordsmen, and he brings his arcane engine up to do the distracting support. The vultures are dead. He needs like a 9 with both of them to overrun to help out his lord. I'm banking on him not being able to get it. I'm hoping he doesn't. My Shopti still have the regen, and with the Lord doesn't have flaming attacks, and the Griffin doesn't have flaming attacks, so I'm hoping I can just weather the storm, break him due to combat res, hopefully run him down, but we'll see. So here's a better picture of all that. Yes, 1 man, 1 mission. Again, I'm not sure how this is going to go. Yeah, he has a 1-up armor save, but I have a lot of attacks coming at him. And oh, this chariot is doing so well. It has 1 wound left. And again, I have my kitty there, so I'm not sure if I'm going to run in with my kitty and support this thing, or what I want to do yet, or if I just want to kind of get further into his back lines to eat his crossbowmen, then eat his cannon. Oh, yeah, the vultures die. But luckily, he does not overrun far enough to contact either the Shopties with either group. And yeah, so he does end up killing, I think he does 1 wound. And so he has a wound, a charge, and banner. Either way, I lose a chariot. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but the chariot's dead. So top of 4. My Shopties won. They did a wound. He didn't do a single wound back to me, and so I broke him. I didn't catch him. He ran super far, but I did run into the great swords, which had tried to help out their general. So I hit him at a weird angle. My kitty could see the guys, and he needed like a 7 to get in. So I charged with both my kitties. I wasn't going to be able to fit both of them in. I knew that, but I wanted to at least have. I wanted redundancy in case I failed. I didn't fail. I got in with both, but I did the flank one first because I felt that was a better decision there. I don't charge with my snake archers, or not my snake archers, my tomb cataphracts. Again, because if he does do a long flank charge to the Shopti, I want to just charge them back because I feel the Shopti can handle halberdiers, especially when they have their regen up. And again, with the kitty in with the great swords, I'm not too concerned with how this is going to go. They don't have flaming attacks and they don't have distracting quite yet, so hopefully I can just do as much damage as possible in this round and crush them. My archers are trying their best to. They can't hit. I think they do 1 wound the entire game. They just can't hit these guys. Oh yes, this goes very well. He does end up doing 7 wounds, or 8 wounds including the kitty. But I destroy that unit. It's not even close. I blow him up, and he does stay, though. He does stay. This, we both flub and tickle each other. And finally my chariot bites the big one, and that is sad. And so here is how it looks at the bottom of 4. He backs up with his halberdiers because he wants that point. I don't blame him for that. His general does rally, unfortunately. He moves up with his distracting engine and charges with both groups of swordsmen. I'm not concerned about the swordsmen charging in. I am concerned about the distracting engine being there now. That is a worry. His militia continue to flee from something. Oh, I think I blew up, my casket ate his raiders and pistoliers, and they panicked and ran. Yeah. His cannon's back up now, and he shoots. I think his cannon's back. He shoots. I don't think he hits, though. And here is how it sits. And again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to win the objective. Those snakes, I thought they would do a lot better than the great swords. And I know they'll do better against the halberdiers, but I don't think they'll be able to. I don't want to charge him because I'll have hatred first turn, and it's just not going to be good. And I just want to kind of threaten him and keep him there. So this combat is what it looks like before we start doing wounds. And this is what it looks like after. He doesn't do a single wound. And I just destroy everything. I eat everything. His entire great sword unit is gone. Between my fire breath, which I popped this turn, I did not pop last turn, and stomps, I break him. He breaks with the great sword. He breaks with one of the swordsman unit, and so I'm able to chase with the kitty, the great sword guys, or the BSB. But he runs only like 5 inches, but I chase 4, and so damn, you know what I mean? And I just use my reform to slide down to just finish chopping up these swordsmen, hopefully. And we'll see how it goes. And so top of 5, this is what it looks like. My kitty charges the BSB, and the BSB has to run. And it runs like an inch or 2 inches or 3 inches, but I easily catch it. I don't run far enough to pop into the side of the halberdiers like I kind of wanted to, but I run far enough that it's still gonna be a great flank charge and frontal charge with my snakes if he stays there. My other kitty just kind of moves up, and that's all that happens. So yeah, there's a better picture of the kitty catching the BSB, so that's good. Oh, and I forgot to get a picture of his turn 5, the overall, but this is what happens. He is Rally Lord, charges into my Shopties. He's got to keep them away from the point, because the Shopties are a scoring unit. And he doesn't think he can take my kitty on. His Arcane Engine fled when I charged it. That's why I redirected onto the BSB. And it kept fleeing, and it fled pretty far and ran off the table. So it's gone now. He charges my snakes, as I suspected he would. These guys rally. The other swordsmen rally. And yeah, the snakes actually put up a fight. They kill 11 of his guys, and he just, I make so many saves, so many 4-up saves, that it's not even, it's not even funny. He does, I think, 16 wounds, and I save all but 8 of them. Or, no, he does more than 16. He does like 23. I save a lot. Let's say that. And I actually end up crumbling, but only by 1. And I ignore the first crumble. So there they are. So I'm really excited about this. The Shopties lose against the General. They crumble a couple, and so there I sit. So my turn, I charge in with my other Sphinx, hoping to break him. I charge him with my archers, actually, to the side. He reforms so he can get more rank bonuses on my snakes there. But he's not going to have hatred anymore. So I want that combat res too. So I charge in with my archers. And normally I'd never charge in with my archers. But they're only going to get 4 attacks against them. And even if they kill all the archers between a flank and a charge, and whatever wounds I am able to do back, I'm still feeling good about that, and I'm liking where that's going. Yeah. During combat, I kill his general. I break his halberdiers, and they run, and I win. So, end of game. Undying Dynasties, 17-3. It was a fun game. It was really good. I thought I was in a lot of trouble when my first snake unit died to the great swords without doing a single wound. That was a bad day. A bad time. And I didn't know how I'd pull it off. And again, my kitties were out of position from turn 1 and just had to run over. Luckily, he misfired with his cannons, so they didn't have that big of an impact as they could have. They did end up blowing up both the Colossus, and they got one of my kitties at the end too. So that's sad. Some closing thoughts for you though. Catapults, cool, but they don't have the presence I need on the battlefield. They don't have a threat that's something that will keep people from moving into certain areas. They don't have zone control. And I need that as an Undying Dynasties player because I'm so slow. I need to be able to push the enemy where I need him to go and keep him from going where I do not want him to. That's why I have chariots, and I need to learn to use them better. I need to use them more defensively, I feel. Because I need to just control zones, because chariots are scary on the charge, but they are not scary at any other time. Cannons are still scary to my army. Yeah, they're more expensive, but they can still do a lot of damage. And against certain builds, cannons are just really good. You gotta respect them. You gotta have a plan to deal with them. Bound spells are just better than normal spells. At a miscast 5, I'll break the item, yeah, but I mean, that's not terrible. And sometimes to win, all the strategy in the world won't help you if you can't roll good. And sometimes you just need to roll good. So those are my closing thoughts. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And tune in again as I face the cavalry version of this Empire army, but with my Undying Dynasties. But I'll put that report up later. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll leave some comments. And